Welcome to the deep dive. So you know how picking the right cloud data warehouse, it can sometimes feel like choosing this high-performance car.
Yeah, definitely. And then hoping it actually suits your daily commute, right?
Exactly. Well, today we're taking a close look at Google BigQuery. These cloud platforms are really reshaping how businesses handle data, promising, huge scale and performance.
Mm-hmm. And BigQuery's approach is interesting, that serverless core and how it plugs right into the Google Cloud platform.
Right. So the fundamental question for you listening, is BigQuery really the right fit, the right choice for your enterprise? Let's get into it.
Okay. So what's fascinating about BigQuery, I think, is its fundamental design. It's built for simplicity, sure, but also for just immense scale.
And the serverless aspect, that's key.
Oh, absolutely crucial. Imagine like not having to manage any servers or infrastructure. You just write your SQL queries and Google takes care of the rest.
That must give data teams a real boost in agility.
Incredible agility, yeah. They can spin up analysis environments so much faster for new projects. It could potentially cut deployment times from, say, weeks down to, well, maybe even hours.
And this separation of storage and compute, I hear about that, sounds like a pretty smart way to handle varying demands.
It is, it really is. By decoupling those, you can scale your processing power independently of your storage needs.
Ah,
So if you suddenly get a huge spike in queries, the compute part scales up, but it doesn't mess with your stored data, and, vice versa.
makes sense.
Plus, it uses standard SQL. That means a lot of data professionals can, well, they can get productive very quickly. Lower barrier to entry there.
Now, for companies already deep into Google Cloud, that integration must be a massive draw.
Oh, absolutely. It's seamless, really. That integration across the whole GCP ecosystem is a major, major advantage.
Like connecting with AI tools and such.
Exactly. Think about connecting BigQuery with Vertex AI for machine learning, or Dataflow for building pipelines, PubSub for real-time data, Looker for visualization. It's all designed to work together.
Right.
So for organizations heavily invested in GCP already, it really streamlines things, reduces complexity quite a bit.
Okay, but with all this power, this flexibility, there have to be some catches, right?
Yeah.
Things you need to watch out for.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, while BigQuery handles a lot of the infrastructure headache for you, it doesn't mean you can just forget about efficiency.
Oh.
Inefficient SQL queries, for example, they can still rack up costs, sometimes unexpectedly. So performance tuning, still really critical.
So even though it's serverless, you still need to think about things like partitioning and clustering your data. And what about slots? I hear that term.
Precisely. Understanding how to partition and cluster, that can dramatically improve your query performance and help manage costs. And slots, yeah, think of slots as basically the compute engine power you have available for your queries.
Okay, like horsepower.
Kind of, yeah. More slots generally means faster queries, but it can also mean higher costs. So managing that slot utilization effectively is really key as you scale. You need to find that balance.
It sounds like even with Google managing the infrastructure, strong data governance is still absolutely essential.
Couldn't agree more. As your BigQuery usage grows, having robust data governance practices becomes more and more vital. It's about managing costs, ensuring data quality, keeping things secure.
Right.
The platform simplifies the infrastructure part, but your responsibility for how you actually use it, that doesn't go away.
So for the enterprise leaders listening in, what are the key things they should be considering when looking at BigQuery?
Well, for enterprise leaders, I'd say a primary factor is their existing investment in Google Cloud. If you're already deep in GCP, BigQuery is often a very natural and compelling choice.
Makes sense.
Also, consider the nature of your workloads. Do they fluctuate a lot? If you have those peaks and troughs in processing demand, BigQuery's serverless pay-for-what-you-use pricing can be really advantageous.
And the team skills?
Yes, definitely assess your team's capabilities. Do they have experience with cloud cost management, what people often call FinOps and SQL optimization, or is that something you'll need to invest in building up?
Okay. And turning to the data professionals, the folks who would actually be working hands-on with BigQuery, what should they be thinking about?
For data pros, well, BigQuery is becoming increasingly important, especially if your company is GCP focused.
Yeah.
Developing skills in things like BigQuery ML or its integration with Vertex AI that can really boost your career prospects.
An opportunity there.
For sure. But it also requires a bit of a mindset shift. It's not just about lifting and shifting old systems. You need to really embrace efficient query design, be cost aware.
And data modeling.
Crucial, strong data modeling skills optimized specifically for how BigQuery works under the hood, that's key to unlocking its full potential, is how you can really differentiate your skills too.
So when it comes down to it, it really depends on your specific situation, your context.
Exactly. There's no single yes or no answer on BigQuery suitability. It depends entirely on your unique business needs, your existing tech stack, and importantly, the maturity and skills within your data teams.
And getting this choice right, it can really accelerate your whole data strategy.
Absolutely. Choosing the right data warehouse isn't just a technical decision, it's a foundational strategic one. It can profoundly impact how effectively you get value from your data.
So a final thought for everyone listening, as you're evaluating your data infrastructure, maybe take a step back. What are the core assumptions you're making about your current needs, and perhaps more importantly, your future growth, that are really driving your evaluation? That's a critical question to ponder. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.